of sadness, the anxious and panic, the infinite vastness of all that is blackness.
Welcome back, my enlightened ones. How is everybody tonight? I'm Kat for Wins, in case you're new here. So how is everybody tonight? Oops, can you hear me? Do I have my mic on? I have my mic on. Okay. So how is everybody tonight? I'm going to jump over to chat. So I am Kat for Wins, in case you're new here. Tonight is going to be about Yggdrasil, the tree of life, and we have a lot to discuss in the 9 realms of Yggdrasil. So this ought to be interesting. Also, too, I ruined myself. I got runes all over my face here. So we'll be discussing the runes and also doing some rune casting here at the end of the class and see if we can get a little bit more clarity and a little more insight on what's going on in our lives. So again, I'm Kat for Wins. If you can hit that like button so I can get my content out there and get my craziness out there to everybody. Yay! So how is everybody tonight? I'm going to jump over to chat real quick and say hi to everybody. Where'd it go? And comments, here we are. We have Penny in here. Hi, Penny. We have Adam and Vincent. Hi, guys. We have Julie, and I believe Sarah's in here somewhere. I don't see her in here. Shane, you got to go kick her butt. Oh, there she is. I see her. Hey, friends. There she is. Okay. Don't kick her butt. So anyway, I want to apologize ahead of time to my forefathers here that I will be probably pronouncing words incorrectly. My enunciation of things is a little skew. Hi, Trey. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Great to have you guys. So anyway, so this is going to be a fun night tonight. So, Yggdrasil. Huh. So, in fact, if you guys are familiar with the tarot deck, the tarot cards, there is a character in there, okay, the major arcana called the Hangman. The Hangman is actually Odin hanging from the Tree of Life, in case you did not know this. So that's quite interesting there. So we just want to make sure none of us are perfect. Oh, good God, not me. I'll show you how crazy I can be. So anyway, first, let's discuss this, shall we? A tree of life, a timeless symbol of our connections to everything around us, and a powerful reminder that our own happiness and health are inextricably intertwined with the happiness and health of all living things, the strength of a tree. So Yggdrasil, I used to call it Yggdrasil, but it's actually Yggdrasil, so that was something new I've learned. I've been pronouncing it wrong for 30 years. Go figure, that's me. So again, my apologies. So I hope everybody's doing great tonight. Next week's class, just to let you know, it is going to be on the introduction to the Holy Fire Reiki. I am a Reiki master. I will be teaching free Reiki to people. And in fact, if you wanted to take it all the way to the master level, which the master level will be a private session, that will be $100, but the rest of it is free. But if you do take it all the way, you get the book and also a certificate that comes with it, and you can actually start making money for yourselves. I make $50 an hour doing Reiki on people, so it's nothing to scoff at. So anyway, so let's get going back to here. But after that class, though, we are going to be doing a class on the ferryman that brings souls down to Hades. Cryon is his name. So we're going to be discussing him, and he also is Greek mythology. So we will be discussing him the following week after the Holy Fire Reiki class. So the Tree of Life, here we go. The tree of life has many symbolic meanings that make it universally relevant. The tree represents connection to everything around you. It symbolizes being grounded and rooted. It represents peace and relaxation, evoking a sense of calm. A tree symbolizes rebirth and immortality as it goes through periodic cycles of death and regrowth. It's a symbol of strength and growth, facing storms and emerging stronger, although shaped by one's trials. This allows one to grow into a unique individual, and the tree symbolizes family roots and history all over generations. What do? We talk about what? Our relatives are what? On the family tree. So there's a lot of significance to the tree. Absolutely. A tree symbolizes strength and firmness. It is often used as a metaphor to talk about courage, constancy, and reliability. There is an esoteric symbolic tree of life, implying a tree that is a source of life and magical properties. So the tree of life signifies individuality, immortality, ancestor, and family. In Islam, it's the tree of immortality. In Christian, it's called the tree of knowledge. In Buddhism, it's called the tree of enlightenment, as a symbol of connection to everybody, strength and peace as well. So, Yggdrasil, earth is my body, water my blood, air my breath, and fire my spirit. So, let's talk about Yggdrasil just for a second. I'm just going to go back over the comments in case anybody's new in here. What the hell is that? What are you referring to, Adam, my child? Puttering, muttering combination. Okay. You don't putter. Okay, I got to catch up on these messages. All right. So, anyway, so Yggdrasil, referred to as the tree of life, is an enormous ash tree, not ass, ash, which is at the center of the Norse spiritual cosmos. This tree, which is always green, connects the 9 worlds or realms of Norse cosmology. Its origins are unknown, and the exact size of either the tree or the 9 realms cannot be measured. It transcends both space and time, serving as the central point of the world, but also encompasses all the realms, the beginning, the middle, as well as the end. It ties Earth to the underworld and Valhalla. You've heard of Valhalla. That's their heaven. That's where all the Norse gods go after they fought a great war. They hopefully go to Valhalla. The tree of life brings human beings, gods, goddesses, elves, dwarves. This is where your elemental beings come into play, guys. Giants. Yes, there are giants here too. And all sorts of creatures from the animal kingdom together under one single encompassing system. And we're going to talk about a nasty little squirrel that causes trouble on the tree. He's a fun little fellow. We're also going to talk about the dragon that's at the base, at the roots of the tree. They eat and gnaw away at the roots of Yggdrasil every night, trying to kill the tree of life. But we do have 3 guardian godmothers that do come in and they fertilize and maintain the roots every morning. So that's interesting. So the most accepted translation of the word Yggdrasil is Odin's horse. Now listen to this. YGG, which is the first 3 letters of Yggdrasil, okay, is another term for Odin. And the rest of the word, which is Drasil, means his horse. So Yggdrasil also means Odin's horse, okay? In the grand scheme of things, Odin and the great tree can be considered one and the same. Everything we know about Yggdrasil comes from a series of anonymous Old Norse poems called the Poetic Edda. I actually am working out of this book tonight, minus the hair. Okay, I don't know if you can see it here, the book of runes, and this is from Ralph Blum, and I've actually linked it down below if you guys are interested. This book is vintage, the one I'm holding in my hand. This is probably about 35 years old, as you can tell by the cover on it. It's kind of sad and seen better days. I got things coming in saying hello, my little beautiful fairies. So anyway, but the poem about Yggdrasil hanging him from the tree of life to gain knowledge is actually in here, and I will be sharing that with you later. Several versions exist of the Poetic Edda, all consisting primarily of the text from the Icelandic medieval manuscript known as the Codex Regius. The Codex Regius, which means the royal book, which is arguably the most important source of Old Norse history, mythology that is known. In the Poetic Edda, Yggdrasil is mentioned in 3 poems. I'm apologizing again. Here we go. The Voluspa, which is the first one, actually spelled Voluspa with a little accent thingy there. So the Voluspa, then the Havamal, which is spelled Havamal, and also the Grimnismal, which is spelled Grimnismal. Okay, so the 9 realms, I'll get into those in a second. The tree of life, which grows stronger together. The concept of the sacred tree, also known as the tree of life, can be found in origin and creation myths from all over the world. The tree of life has been spotted in art, architecture, iconography from all different cultures. The tree of life is a symbol of unity, representing the idea that all life on earth is connected. Though we may all spread out in various directions, we are all part of something bigger. The tree of life is characterized by 3 major features: the leaves, branches, and the trunk. The leaves are the individual leaves depicted on the tree of life represents the uniqueness of all earthly creations, including ourselves. Like the leaves of the tree, we are all different shapes, colors, and textures, yet the tree of life reminds us that we can coexist peacefully. The branches of the tree reaching outwards represent our human need for expression in arts, science, spirituality, among other outlets. In this way, the tree of life also is symbolic of our potential to improve and extend our notions of the human condition through compassionate action, literally reaching out our hands and arms. The trunk and the roots, above all else, the trunk and the roots are the anchoring image of the tree of life. The solid trunk is a symbol of strength, a place where we can always return to remember what we are made of, while the roots remind us that our actions in this life have deep meaning. The tree of life honors the uniqueness and diversity of all creation while also celebrating our shared origins. It is no wonder that it continues to be regarded as a legendary and timeless icon. So that's quite interesting. So the 9 realms, let me just show this and we'll jump into the 9 realms. This is where it's going to get fun. Yggdrasil from Old Norse is an immense and central sacred tree in Norse cosmology. Around it exists all else, including the 9 worlds. Here are the 9 worlds, my friends. Okay. The top one, underneath the eagle, and I'll explain the eagle in a moment, but you can see there at the roots of the tree, that is the dragon or the snake that continues to gnaw away. There's 3 major roots to the tree, and I'll explain those as well. So starting off at the top, underneath the eagle is Asgard. Asgard is the first level of Norse cosmology and is located at the top of the great tree. It is the home of gods, the Aesir. Now, the Aesir are a bunch of gods, okay? And it is surrounded by partially constructed wall. Odin and Frigg, husband and wife, rule Asgard. Here they are. Here we are. So this is Freyr and this is Odin, okay? We'll be explaining how Odin lost his eye as well in a moment. Back to our tree. Okay. Vanaheim, which is Vanaheim, where are you? Vanaheim. Okay, so to the left there, the second one down on the left-hand side, that's Vanaheim, is another world inhabited by gods. The Vanir are gods associated with fertility. Remember, we've talked about them. Wisdom and the ability to see into the future. No one exactly is certain where Vanaheim is located. The third realm is called Elfheim. Elfheim. Okay, Elfheim, where are you here? Elfheim, top one on the left-hand side. It is inhabited by the light elves and located adjacent to Asgard. The elves are described as something akin to the sun or sunlight itself. The Vanir are considered guardian angels. Okay, these are the ones that are fertility goddesses and goddesses that can see, have foresight, they can see into the future. Okay. They are guardian angels who can help or hinder humans with their minor god-like powers. Of all the worlds, this one represents some confusion among scholars since it is ruled supposedly by Freyr and Vanir, okay? Then the next one is the bottom one on the left-hand side, which is Jotunheim, also known as Utgard. is another of the realms and also the land of the frost giants. Here's a frost giant. I kick your butt. That's what he's saying. Okay, so land of the frost giants, also referred to as the devourers. Under the rule of King Laufey, Jotunheim is one of the most dangerous and terrifying places in the cosmos and was the birthplace of, yes, you guessed it, Loki. Yes, the troublemaker Loki. God love him. Okay, the shape-shifting trickster. The giants are sworn enemies of Aesir and do battle with gods almost constantly. Jotunheim is located right across the river Irving from Asgard. The land called, here we go, Svartenheim. Svartenheim. Okay. I don't even see it on there. Okay, also known, okay, yeah, that's what it is. It's Nidvaler over there on the right-hand side in the middle, okay? So the other name for it is Nidvaler, is a rocky place where the dwarves reside. These dwarves are master craftsmen and metal workers and were the source of many of their magical weapons and items known throughout Norse history, including the Spear of Odin. Yes. And this also includes the making of Thor's hammer. Yes, that's included in that too. Okay. Helheim. Okay, this is where Hel is, down here on the right-hand corner of the tree, also known as Hel. The keeper of Hel is Hel, Hel. She is a goddess of the dead, is of the underworld. It is thought to be somewhere underground in the cold reaches of the north. A fierce goddess named Hel rules the underworld. She is a giantess and a daughter of Loki. Yes, she is the daughter of Loki, and is known for being cruel, greedy, and harsh on the demands of dead and the living. The Norse underworld is nothing like the Christian version aside from being ruled by a tyrant. While the latter is said to be a place of fire and brimstone, pain and suffering, the Norse version is closer to neutral ground. At a depth look, and an indifference can be found here. It's said that when time of Ragnarok comes, we'll talk about Ragnarok, all dead will rise up and attack the gods and goddesses, and the end of the world will be inevitable. Ragnarok is Armageddon to us. Okay. The rise of the dead shall come back and inherit the earth, supposedly. So that's the belief behind that. This was discovered when Odin hung himself 9 days from the tree of life to see the runes that appeared in the water below him. And from these runes, he actually foresaw the fate of Ragnarok. So that's where that comes into play. Midgard, here we go. Second one down from Asgard is the realm of humans. This is where we live. Hello. Also called Middle Earth, it is located in the middle of the Great Tree. It is surrounded by great and impassable ocean. Here, let me show it to you. Here it is, because there's a big sea dragon in this ocean that's going to kick your butt if you try pressing it. You cannot go. None shall pass. Sorry. But connected to Asgard by the Rainbow Bridge. You can't actually see the Rainbow Bridge, but the Rainbow Bridge, I thought I put one up with the Rainbow Bridge in it. Let's see this one. There's the Rainbow Bridge. So you can see it running from Asgard down to Midgard. You can see that there, that Rainbow Bridge. So when our pets and animals die, this is the Rainbow Bridge they're going across to. So you know, and all our friends and family go there too. All right, the Rainbow Bridge. A huge sea serpent lives in the great ocean. Yes, his name is Jörmungandr. Jörmungandr. This is the great sea serpent of the ocean. This so huge this ocean is that Midgard serpent that encircles the world entirely. Of the 9 worlds, Midgard is the only visible world and positioned near the base of the trunk of Yggdrasil. Below Asgard, but above Helheim. Okay, so let's go back here. Ta-da! Okay. The other two realms are Niflheim. Okay, that's at the bottom there underneath that big dragon thing. The land of mist and fog in Muspelheim. Muspelheim is at the top of the tree under Asgard on the right-hand side. Okay. The land of fire. Niflheim is the darkest and coldest realm. It's also the first of the 9 worlds and is protected by a huge dragon called, oh, here we go, Nidhogg. Nidhogg, that's his name, Nidhogg. As Yggdrasil started to grow, it stretched one of its 3 large roots far into Niflheim and drew water from a spring. The spring is called Hyvrenglomer, which the oldest of the 3 holy wells. There are actually 3 holy wells. Odin gave away his eye to drink from the well of knowledge. One of these wells is the well of knowledge that actually feeds Yggdrasil. Muspelheim lies in the far south and resembles the inside of an active volcano, complete with boiling lava, fire, smoke, and heat. It's the home of the great fire giants and ruled by the greatest fire giant, Satyr. Okay, I believe that's Mimir. Okay, I can't show you that one. So I'm going to take this down for a second. Jump over to comments. Loki's boy, yes, Loki. Like I said, it's all tied around Greeks, and this is Norse that we're getting into, but again, it's going to go back off to the Greeks again. It's just so crazy how this all just kind of just ties together. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my banners here. All right, so let's go back up to this one. All right, the 3 roots of Yggdrasil. Let's see here if I get a better picture of the roots. Yes, okay. So there's one going off to the Fond du Demer. Oops, something just flew over here. And then we have, I'll discuss the 3 ladies at the bottom there in a second, but there's Helheim there in the lower left-hand corner. You can see that over there, and then, okay. So the 3 roots is supported by 3 great, the Yggdrasil is supported by the 3 great roots. Each extends to a different realm, and each draws water from 3 sacred wells. The first root draws water from the well of Erd. So the well of Erd is straight down. You can see the front root coming off the tree there, going to where the geese and that little pond is. That is the well of Erd. The well of knowledge. This is the one that Odin drank from. He gave away his eye for knowledge to drink from this well. He actually gave it to his uncle, which is found in Asgard. The second root leads to the well of wisdom, also known as the well of Mimisbrunner. Mimisbrunner, okay. So that would be, I believe that is the one to the right. It is located in Jotunheim. Yeah, right. Yeah, on Jotunheim. You can actually see the rope. See the rope hanging from Jotunheim there, that hanging noose? That's the noose that Odin hung himself from. And guarded by Murmur the giant. Here, I have Murmur. Here's Murmur. Here he is. He's so beautiful. Isn't it creepy? Murmur is the wisest creature in the universe, and he drinks each day from the well of wisdom. The third route leads to Niflheim. So let's go back down to our tree here. There we go. Niflheim, okay? And the well of Haverglamer. Okay. The oldest of the 3 wells and the source of the 11 rivers, which are the ancient water sources for the entire world. Our world, all the world. A great stag, oh good God, called Acanthamana gnaws on the branches of the great tree, and from his horns flows the water that runs into Havenglamer. Snakes inhabit the water in the well of Vaglamer, plus it's guarded by the great serpent. And if we go back up to here, we can actually see the great serpent at the bottom of the tree. That's that pink and red dude there. Okay, here comes the fun part, guys. So these are the Vanir gods. These are the ones they meet every morning at the base of Yggdrasil, okay, to discuss what needs to be done, what their fears are, what needs to be done as far as gods and keeping the tree of life alive. So they are them. And no, that's not the one I want. I want the other one. Okay, so the three ladies at the bottom, we're going to be discussing them in a second. All right. The great tree is inhabited by many creatures, which each serve a specific function in maintaining the balance and order of Yggdrasil. A great eagle sits on top of the tree. The eagle possessed the knowledge and wisdom of Odin, while the hawk spread the information through messages. Now, the interesting thing about this eagle, he does not have a name. Okay. And my conclusion to this is this eagle represents God, a form of God. Okay. So I think that's kind of interesting because there is no name for him. There is a name for the hawk that sits on his nose, which we will discuss in a second. There are actually 4 stags on the tree. Let's go to this one, okay? So here we have the eagle at the top of the tree there. We have the 4 stags. Now, the 4 stags represent the 4 cosmic winds. Yes, cosmic winds that make everything move. Also, too, can stand for the 4 seasons, the 4 cardinal points, the 4 elements. So take your pick, whichever one you want, but this is the beautiful eagle. Now, if you notice on top of the eagle head sits a hawk. The great eagle sits at the top outermost branch of the tree. The branch is called Larad that he sits on. This untamed eagle is an omnipotent, knowing everything. The giant bird continuously flaps its great wings to provide wind to each individual realm. There is also a hawk. The hawk's name that sits between his eyes there at the top is called Verafiner, which sits right between the eyes of the eagle. There are many speculative theories about the role of the hawk plays, but none can be validated. A dragon, if we go back down, here he is. I'll show you a closer picture of him. The dragon that actually lays at the base of the tree, which we actually can see. Can't see on that one. All right, you can actually see him here at the very, very bottom there. That's supposed to be him. Okay, let's put him back up here. Okay. All right. Let's see here. All right. A dragon serpent called Neohagra, okay, is also found among the creatures inhabiting Yggdrasil, usually gnawing at the roots of the great world tree from beneath, along with a horde of smaller, unnamed dragons, demons, and other serpents. Neo, which is the first part of Neohagra's name, is a Viking word describes someone who is villainous or has done something to cause a loss of their honor. So this can represent a person that went bad and be from that wasn't trusted or went against his word. But that's what Neos actually stands for. Someone who's lost their honor. Okay, let's talk about my buddy here. He's a troublemaker. A giant squirrel named Radadugskar runs up and down the tree continuously. Its only job is to deliver messages and insults between the great eagle and the dragon. Yes, he runs up the tree to the eagle and lies that the dragon said this, and then runs down from the eagle to the dragon and says the eagle said this about you. So he's nothing but a troublemaker. All right, great eagle and the dragon. Radadugskar does everything in his power to keep hatred between them two fueled. Also 4 great red deer and stags, as I said. This is the only picture I could really find of them. Red deer, okay, I'm going to tell you their names. We have Dunlin, which is to the left there. Then we have Dunyer to the left there as well, coming closer to the tree. Durapur is the other one. And Dane is the other one. So those are the 4 deer, all beginning with the letter D. Live among the branches of the great tree, continuously eating the leaves. The 4 stags aren't completely understood, but their names have given rise to theories of the years. Dane translates to mean the dead one. Dane. So one of the deer's names means dead one. Okay. Dunlin is the unconscious one. Dunyear is the thundering in the ear one, and Durfur is thriving slumber. That's what their names mean. One theory was that each represent a different degree of wind, which is, I believe that's what it is, because I actually heard it being told to me that it represents the winds, because the wind is what keeps the suns and the moons supposedly moving. Something important to Viking sailors. Other theories have attempted to tie them to the four cardinal directions: north, south, east, and west, the four seasons: summer, winter, spring, fall, or even the four elements: earth, air, fire, water. These stags, like the hark, are not defined, as their function is part of the Yggdrasil environment, so they're not sure what they're actually there for. As the great tree is under constant assault by many of its inhabitants, three Norns, okay, let's go back down to the bottom of the tree here. Here's our Norns. These three ladies at the bottom of the tree, right under Verdandi, excuse me, the word Verdandi right there in the middle of the tree at the bottom, okay? These three Norns attend the tree each day. The Norns are female divine beings with have more influence over destiny than any of the creatures in the cosmos. So remember, we mentioned the Befind in Celtic lore, okay, which were the three godmothers. They appear three times in your life. Once when you're born, she actually measure, okay, she comes in to help you be born. The second one comes in to measure the length of your lifespan, and the third one comes in to cut the cord of your lifespan and tells you you're done. Okay, these beautiful goddesses, now see, this is another form of, you know, not religion, but this is another form where you can see the similarities in the Greek mythology, in the Celtic mythology, as well as the Norse mythology. So it's kind of interesting. The Norns are female divine beings which have more influence over destiny than any other creatures of the cosmos. They dwell within the well of Erd. You can see the first one on the left. She's standing right on the word Erd. To shape destiny by carving runes in the trunk of the tree. They gave the runes to Odin. The names of Erd, Old Norse, what was, wow, I can't say it. What once was, wow, say that three times fast. What once was, what once, okay. The Verdandi, Old Norse Verdandi, which is the second one, what is coming into being. And the third one, the woman's called Skald, which means what shall be. So the first one was what once was. Good God, help me. Skald is what shall be, and anyway, so and what is coming into being. So they are in charge of our destinies as well as the destiny of Yggdrasil. The Earth is together with other Norse located at the Weld. Your Dabner beneath the world ash tree, Yggdrasil of Asgard. Okay, so these are your wells. Asgard, they spin the threads of life, cut marks on the pole figures, and measure people's destinies. As I said, they're measuring out your life, how long, which shows the fate of all human beings and gods. Norns are always present when a child is born to decide its fate, just like you actually see in the Disney movie. Also, to oh my God, I can't think of that movie either. But the Disney movie when she pricked her finger in Sleeping Beauty and she fell asleep. And anyway, they come in and decide the destiny. All right. Present at birth measures your life, then cuts the cord at death. Okay. So let me go. Here they are. Here's another picture of them if you'd like to see this picture of them. This is called your Dabinar. Your Dabinar. These are the three goddesses of the tree. They actually repair the roots every morning that the damage has been done by the dragon. You can see the dragon actually underneath the roots there with its teeth gnashing and eating the roots of Yggdrasil. So go figure. Let's see here. I'm just trying to see if I did all my. So Odin, here we go. The saying of, this is called in the poem Edda, from the Edda poem, okay? The saying of the High One. This is Odin hanging from the tree of life. I know that I not tongue. I'm going to read it to you in a minute because I have the full version of it. This is just a short version. Okay, Odin is known for his love of the pursuit of wisdom. Another account of this is found in the Völuspá, where Odin learns of Ragnarok. To gain wisdom, he is known to go to great sacrifice. At one occasion, sacrificing eye to Murmur. Murmur. So remember, Murmur is the one that drinks from the wells of wisdom. He's very wise, and he actually said, "To drink from my well, you must give me your left eye." So anyway, Odin sacrificed his eye. His uncle and the Aesir god of the good counsel, and again we have the good counsel back up here, the Urbanir gods. Okay. That was to be allowed to drink from his well of wisdom at the foot of Yggdrasil, the world tree. On another occasion, he hangs from the branch of the tree like a corpse, hanging there for 9 consecutive nights to deepen his knowledge of all things. Okay. So the poem that the high one is called the Havamal, okay, which is the saying of the high one. It's an important poem in the Codex Regius of the Poetic Edda, as I said, an unnamed collection of poems. This is what the Poetic Edda is an unknown collection of poems in Old Norse mythology. Odin's quest after the runes is one of its parts. Okay, I'm going to read. Here's the poem. Hanging in the nothingness, on some charcoal pile, which is called Medir. Not a man hanging in a tree at all. It is a man transcending the sphere of thought, time, and space. A vital point of Vor Finur Sidir, an ancient tradition. The number 9 here indicates timelessness. 9 means no time, or time there is none of. The Norse mythology. Okay, so here is the poem right here, guys. I know I hung on that windy tree, swung there for 9 long nights, wounded by my own blade. Bloodied for Odin, myself offering to myself, bound to the tree that no man knows, whither the roots of it run. None gave me bread, none gave me drink. Down to the deepest depths I peered until I spied the runes. With a roaring cry I seized them up, then dizzying and fainting I fell. Well-being I won, in wisdom too. I grew and took joy in my growth. From word to word, I was led to the word. From deed to another deed. So that is the short poem of Odin hanging from Yggdrasil in the Tree of Life. Okay. We discussed, I can go into here more about, kind of have to a little bit here. How many creatures of Yggdrasil are there? In the poem known as the Grimnismal, Odin speaks of many creatures who have made Yggdrasil their home. Odin describes that Hel lives under the first root of Yggdrasil. Underneath the second are the multitude of frost Jotnar. This is your frost giants. Mankind, he says, has an abode under the third. Odin then goes on to say that no more serpents exist underneath Yggdrasil than any fool can imagine. So he can't even count the amount of snakes and dragons and these things that are just eating away at the roots of the tree. He can't. You can't fathom how many are underneath there. Odin also names these creatures. I've purposely left out their Old Norse names to translate them to make it more sense to who they are. So I'm not actually going to give you their names. I'm going to tell you what their names mean. Under Yggdrasil, there is a ditch, wolf. It's called the grayback, the one ruling the ditch, the twisted one, the one who puts to death. Okay. The latter, Odin claims, will forever do damage to Yggdrasil by constant gnawing away at the roots. Odin then famously says Yggdrasil suffers more agony than any human man can ever know. As we know, we learn and we grow the most from the shit brings us to our knees. The pain, the agony, I've had 6 back surgeries. I had to learn to walk again. I'm supposed to be in a wheelchair right now, but I'm not. But we all know that pain and that anguish that we all go through. And if we rise above it, we're stronger and more powerful. Our inner warrior comes out. Okay. Despite the majority of the wretched things described above, Odin also speaks of many creatures who live upon the world tree. Describes the eagle, a squirrel, 4 deer, and a hawk. He then remarks on the integrity of Yggdrasil, calling the noblest of all trees. Venfnir was a hawk that sat in between the eyes of the untamed eagle at the top of the highest branch on Yggdrasil. The branch, like many things in Norse mythology, have a name. This limb of Yggdrasil is known as Lorad, as I said. Vedfnir is an Old Norse word. However, the word translates into English meaning storm pale or wind bleached. So they're saying that the hawk is wind bleached. It's kind of tan in color. Venfnir trades insults rather vicariously with the dragon Nidhogg, who, as we said, is located in Yggdrasil's third root in Niflheim. The insults are carried back and forth by that little rascally squirrel. Maybe he's nuts. Ha! Maybe he's lost his nuts. What's his name? Here he is. Let me pull him back up here. Here he is. So Radaraskar, who gains a lot of pleasure from instigating the two of them. There is no name for the eagle that sits on top of the ash tree. As I said, possibly this could be a symbolism of God, and has knowledge of all things. Between its eyes sits the hawk, as I said, Velfnir, the squirrel called Radaraskar. Runs up and down the ash tree. He tells slanderous gossip, provoking the eagle and Nidhogg. Radaraskar is a squirrel that runs up and down the tree each day, carrying insults between the two, does whatever he can manage to do to keep the hatred going between them. Okay, that's enough about him. The 4 stags, as I said, Dane, Dvalin, Dunir, and Durthur, move about the branches of the tree. Moving about the branches, they devour the tree's foliage. They are said to be positioned with their next arch as they consume the leaves. The color of the 4 is reddish color. The 4 elements, the 4 directions, or the 4 seasons, but I believe it's the 4 winds because that's what I heard. Nidhogg, as we mentioned before, is the monstrous serpent. Here he is, so beautiful. Who relentlessly gnaws at the third and the deepest root of Yggdrasil. The dragon does this in hopes he can chew through the root. His goal is to cause the world tree to become unstable and to fall. This event would bring about the end of the world, Ragnarok. Yet, as we said, Nidhogg is not only the creature that eats away on Yggdrasil. Because of the constant damage of Yggdrasil by maliciousness of some of its inhabitants, the 3 Norns, which are your goddesses, your godmothers, must attend it every day to heal the world tree. The Norns draw water from the Erd's well, which is the knowledge, and they also gather up the sand that is found scattered around. Together, they take this concoction and pour it over the world tree. Yggdrasil welcomes the nourishment. This act is enough to heal it from the damage that is done overnight from the gnawing of these beings. There was one last creature on Yggdrasil not mentioned above. The creature is known as Jörmungand. He is an evil, oh good God, Ouroboros. This serpent was so incredibly large that it encircled the world tree, Yggdrasil biting its own tail. We have seen this, which actually stands for birth, death, and rebirth as well. I believe you can actually kind of see it's showing the roots, but so it would encompass this entire world here. Eating its own tail literally translates to wolf serpent and was also known in Midgard serpent and the world serpent. The events of Ragnarok will be happening when this creature releases his own tail. So when he releases his own tail, all hell's gonna break loose. So anyway, I'm going to jump over to comments because I've just been being so rude. Court of Madness, welcome. Jasmine, welcome. My modest. Adam, hello. And Vincent and Sarah and Shane and Julie and Penny. I'm not sure if Carrie is in here, but I'll say hi anyway. Hi, Carrie, just in case you're in here. So this is kind of a crazy story here, guys. So what we're going to be doing tonight, I believe this is my paperwork for now. Yes. Oh, I wanted to show you one more thing. This is very cool here. Because be a tree, and this is called the oak tree, and I just want you to listen to the meaning behind this, if you would be so kind. The oak tree, the mighty wind blew night and day. It stole the oak tree's leaves away, then snapped its boughs and pulled its bark until the oak was tired and stark. But still the oak tree held its ground while other trees fell all around. The weary wind gave up and spoke, "How can you still be standing, oak?" The oak tree said, "I know that you can break each branch of mine in two, carry every leaf away, shape my limbs and make me sway. But I have roots stretched in the earth, growing stronger since my birth. You'll never touch them, for you see, they are the deepest part of me. Until today, I wasn't sure of just how much I could endure, but now I've found, with thanks to you, I'm stronger than I ever knew." Remember that. I had a demon. It kicked my butt. It almost took my life, and I fought and I got my life back. And I actually thank that demon today. And it sounds crazy, but I am the strong person I am today, helping people and teaching people and doing what I do. So, all is for a reason. You just got to be that mighty warrior. So, I thought this was interesting about the runes. Now, as I said, he grabbed the runes up. These are runes, in case you don't you know what they are? Okay. This is actually an alphabet, believe it or not. You can actually spell things with the runes. But I thought this was interesting. You actually have a rune on your phone and don't even know it. And here it is. The Bluetooth. Yes, the name Bluetooth originates from the Viking king Harald Vrumson. Yes, so who reigned over 1,000 years ago. He is well known for unifying factions of Denmark and Norway, which is similar to how Bluetooth technology of today allows different electronic devices to communicate. The Bluetooth logo is a combination of the Nordic runes. Up at the top there, you can see them, okay? He got his nickname HB. The runes are his initials H and B put together, and that creates your Bluetooth symbol. There is a debate about how he got his nickname. It is said that he enjoyed eating blueberries, which caused his teeth to turn blue, or he possibly had a dead tooth. They made fun of him because it was blue. So anyway, so I thought that was interesting. I'm jumping over to comments now. I'm done with all my banners, guys. So we're going to be working with Yggdrasil, and I know you guys have seen this before. This is called Yggdrasil, okay? This is actually a Viking compass. They use this to navigate their ships and so forth. I'm going to be casting runes on mine tonight. So that's Vegvisser. It's a spiritual amulet for many people. It represents stability, safety, and control that belong to every spoke on the Vegvisser. Okay, these are the spokes here. These are the spokes. They actually will see these on Viking bucklers, those shields that they hold up and so forth. They believe that there was power in runes, so they would actually engrave and carve them on things. The Visser is also known as the runic compass of the Viking compass, Nordic compass, made of 8 Viking runes, staves. I'm sorry, my bad. Staves. Sorry, I think that's a T. Is a symbol of protection and guidance. Believed to be used as a compass by the Vikings. The word Vegvisser means wayfinder or signpost in Icelandic language. The runes was the alphabet for Icelandic. Was their alphabet for writing things. So although it was commonly known as the Viking compass, associated by some people with the voyages Vikings made around the world during the Viking Age, there was quite a bit of debate regarding the origin of the Vegvisser. Okay, so what I did here, the easiest thing to do, this is my Vegvisser here that I'm going to be casting on. This is really cool. What you do is you print off Yggdrasil, all right? Find something that you like, all right? Print it off, okay? And what I did was, and I'm going to tell you the easiest way to laminate this puppy. It's laminated on the front and the back as well, okay? What you do is you take a regular placemat that's plastic, you know, like you buy at Walmart and stuff, and you coat the entire top of the placemat with Mod Podge, and then lay your Big Vis or whatever you want to laminate on top of it, and then put another coating over the whole thing, glue the whole thing down to the placemat. You don't have to count the placemat or anything. Glue the whole thing down, then take the card and drag it across to get out your creases. I do, there's a couple little creases in there, but you can't really see them. Okay, and you let it dry overnight, and the next morning you just peel it off the placemat. It's so cool. So it's actually laminated on the front and the back, so it's really cool. So we're going to be using this tonight. Um, I've created Sarah created Tara runes. So I kind of took that idea because I know there's basically 24 runes, 25 if you include Odin, which is the blank rune. In case you didn't know that, the blank rune in the runes is actually represents Odin, represents the future, is fluid, ever changing, and so forth. So I figured 24 I can fit on 4 dice. So I'm going to be using these tonight. Okay, but I am also going to be using, I do have a full set that I actually made. I went to the ocean. Let's see here. God, I probably had these. This is my little hugging and mugging bag. Hugging and mugging of the ravens of Odin. They're his familiars. So anyway, so what I have in here is I created, it's so easy to do, is you just go to the ocean and pick up stones. Something just, dust probably from shaking my bag. Go and pick up stones that are at the ocean. There you go, you can see that one pretty good. That have been rumbled and tumbled in the ocean water. This one represents Odin. There's nothing on it. So I'm going to keep these in this bag. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to leave that bag here, and you guys are going to see me. I can't see what I'm pulling out of the bag. This is dust from me. This isn't our little friends. And then the other one I'm going to be casting. I do want to show, usually when you cast runes, we read right to left. Runes are just the opposite. It's going to go from left to right. So if you wanted to do runes for past, present, and future, okay, the past would start from the right, the present's always in the middle, and then the future would be to the left. What if you don't have an ocean? You can actually buy just little wooden disc. I actually have some in my book of shadows. Hang on one second, guys. I'll show you. I have my book of shadows right here. So in my lovely book of shadows, I believe, yeah, they are. So you can actually just buy these little discs. You can actually buy these discs from Walmart or any of those places, craft places, and you can just wood burn them on your shelf. So it's pretty simple to do there. So what I did was, remember, everything's intent. I go from, for instance, I said just the opposite, that it goes from left to right. I do it from right to left. That's just me. And again, you put your intent out there first. There's no right or wrong way to do these. This is another board I made. So what I would do is I drop the runes, and whatever runes landed on this side, this would be the future, and this would be the past, and of course, this would be the present here. But I'm not using that one tonight. I'm going to be using my this neck. So anyway, I want to play with that. So anyway, the runes, before we start, the word rune means mystery, secret, or whisper. That's what rune means. Most common runic alphabet in the Elder Futhark. So this is called the Elder Futhark. This is, what is that? Dusty. So this is the alphabet of the Elder Futhark, which is 24 symbols. 25 if you include the blank rune. I do not have the blank rune in here on that one because I'm using, as I said, I'm using my beautiful blocks tonight, and my blocks only have 24, not 25 sides. Runes usually carved in natural elements such as stone, metal, wood, clay. Sara would be great at making these. Get some clay, polymer clay, and you can cook them in the oven and just, put the symbol on them before you bake them or whatever. Wood was used for symbols. The funny thing is that they were usually carved in wood. And the funny thing is that you never, if you look at all the symbolism on here, none of the lines go straight across. Do you notice that? The lines are always diagonal. Do you see that? They never go straight across. And the reason why they don't go straight across is because if you're carving it into the wood and you hit that grain and you go straight across, it's either going to split the wood or over time it's going to break. So they made the alphabet so no lines go horizontal. Isn't that crazy? Yes, I learned that. All right, the runes never have or horizontal lines. The grain of the wood will split over time on the grain. As I said, the runes themselves could be used both as alphabet or stand for the whole words as logograms. They were used to write various Germanic languages in northwestern Europe, including Old English in the period of 100 to 1100 AD. As a writing system, they were used to write text, but also to carve inscriptions. As I said, the Vikings used to carve them into their bucklers, their shields, or into their weapons. They believed that it would give them good luck and it would give them strength of the gods. The runes, which are sacred to the set of German symbols, were believed to enhance one's knowledge and wisdom, allowing the individual to have the capability to gaze into events that are not yet to happen. Some say Odin's knowledge of the event of Ragnarok, which means doom of the gods, came after gaining knowledge of the runes. In other words, the knowledge of the runes made Odin even more powerful. He could use the knowledge of the runes to even bring the dead back to life. Yes, necromancy. Okay. Extinguish fires cause people to fall in love with him and make his opponent's weapons useless and many other things. Here is another one if you wanted to make one out of this one. These are the nine realms or the 9 worlds that we discussed on here, which the present would be in the middle here, present, and then we have the past and the future. You could do that one, but it's very simple. Just all I did was just cut this out and just, like I said, Mod Podge it, so that's quite really cool. So I'm going to go down. Here we go. All right. So hopefully that will stay like that. Okay, here's my book of runes here, and I'm going to move my keyboard. This is in my way. I don't need it. All right, so I got bored the other day. Kind of made the bag pretty cool. Anyway, and made this one yesterday. I like the little hugging and mugging dudes here. So I can't see these. You can see them. So I'm going to be reaching in like this. And I'm going to pull one out. I'm going to read the long version of the one I pull out of the bag, and the ones I'm rolling over here is just going to be the short version. Okay. So the blocks that land in the middle, okay, is the present situation. It's going to tell me what the block is or what's going on in your life at that moment or what it symbolizes. I'm not going to know your future and all this stuff, but I'm going to give you a little insight anyway. And then, of course, we have the past and the future, which is if it goes out of the circle or to the left or the right, and it tells me. So who wants to go first? First one who says, me, go first. Get all these flying things everywhere. All right, let's start off with Court of Madness. Court of Madness. Put a question or a thought, just as you would with the tarot deck. Put a thought or a question into the blocks, into the cards, into the blocks, and let me know when you are ready. Okay, I'm gonna start rolling. Here we go. All right. So This one's really kicked off to me over here. Okay, so we're just going to set this one over here. Okay, this means harvest. This is showing me future, okay, to me, because I read from left to right, as I said. You can go and they will actually read right. They will tell you to read it right to left. Again, if you put, I'll do you next, Penny. If you can put your intent out there to how I'm going to read it, it will read that way for you. So there's no right and wrong way of doing this, okay? So this is showing me a harvest. So something that you've been working towards is going to come to be, it's going to come to fruition is what I'm seeing from this. Okay, now we're going to read this one, okay? You notice I have little dots. All right, there's 11 of the runes that can be read upside down, and the rest of them are both, there's no right or wrong way to read them. This one came upside down to me. So this one I'm going to read. This means strength, but it's upside down. So the reverse of this one is weak will, low energy, illness, missed opportunities, and that's what that one's representing. So this one is in the present, okay? Remember, the inner circle is the present of what's going on right now in your life, okay? Court of Madness. Okay, so did you just get over an illness, or are you feeling overtired, or and this one's just kind of telling you that? Because this rune over here represents movement, and the funny thing is it's sideways. And I'm going to read it sideways because to me, you're not going forward, but you're not falling back, okay? This one's kind of saying that you're a little stagnant right now, and this is what's going on in life at the moment, okay? This one over here represents friendship, and I'm going to read it upright, okay? Optimism, aspiration, fortunate soul, okay? So this says that you have a lot of great things going for you, Court of Madness, okay? Um, Again, I'm getting grounding and centering yourself. You're letting yourself get exhausted and get overly tired, whether it's work or could be spiritual stuff. It could be not having that balance between the two, learning your witchcraft or your shamanism or so forth and so on, because this one represents strength. Okay, she's being called out. Okay, so this is your strength. So this is telling you that get out into the sunshine, get some fresh air back in your life. So this one's telling you that possible illness. And again, I don't like to read and tell, oh, you're gonna die. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. Okay, I'm just reading what's in front of me. But when you get these three things in order, okay, this is showing me harvest, okay? So this is really cool. This is showing me that all your hard work, once you get this, get your grounding and centering done, harvest, legalities, reward, peace, and commitment is what this one represents. Now we're going to pull one from the bag here, and we're going to pull out this one. Okay. So this means protection, counsel, non-action, luck, and warning. This represents thorn. This represents giant. Okay. So let me look that one up really quick here. It's on page 21 because I like what it says in the book. Let's see here. Let's see here. Since it's on page 21, I don't believe you. Allow to me. Okay, because it starts here. All right. Oh, here we are. Okay. There we go. Why did it say page 21? That's really weird. Okay, so I know not to listen to the pages. They're lying to me. All right, so this one is Protection Council. And here we are. We're almost there. Oh, good God. Give it to me, will you? There it is. Okay, we got it. All right. So this one, place of non-action, the god Thor. With a gateway for its symbol, the rune indicates that there is work to be done both sides and outside of yourself. Thoraz represents the frontier between heaven and the mundane. Arriving here is a recognition of your readiness to contact the numerous divine and illumination you experience. So its meaning shines through in its form. It means non-action. The gateway is not to be approached or passed through without contemplation. So this one's telling you to contemplate before you do your next move, which is going to lead you to the harvest here. You are being confronted with a clear reflection of what is hidden in yourself that must be exposed and examined before the right action can be taken. So this rune is telling you to know yourself, to learn yourself. It's that inner shadow work I yell at you people to do and to heal what's broken inside. So that is you as Court of Madness. And if you do these things, you're going to get your harvest. Okay, so let's do Penny next. Penny? Because I know you're getting ready to fall asleep. Put your thoughts into the runes, please. We'll do a quick roll. That was weird. Okay. All right. Penny. Penny, penny, penny. Okay. So this one's farthest to the right. So this one I'm going to take that way. This is one of the runes here that can't be up, down, either way, okay? This means stand still. Then we have the canoe over here, which actually represents opening. Energy, positivity, lust, report, knowledge. So I'm going to take this as an opening of knowledge, Penny, is what I'm getting off of this one, okay? This one over here, I'm getting ambition, I'm getting light, a breakthrough, a growth. I'm seeing this as a spiritual breakthrough that you're working on, because see how it's in the center, kind of in the board here? Right now, you're kind of at a standstill with it because I know that we've shut things down and we're trying to do Angie after Penny. Oh, good God. So anyway, so you're kind of at a standstill. So I'm actually going to reverse these because, like I said, it reads right to left, but I put my intent out there to read it the other way. So anyway, but so you're kind of at a standstill right now because you're healing and you're working through some stuff right now. But this one is actually telling you, this one I know means it means warrior. Yes. And I'm going to pull this one up. I'm going to pull it out of here. So this one is ambition, light, growth, and breakthrough. So I'm seeing a you got Odin. I'm seeing a breakthrough here for you here. Okay. And this one is the warrior, which means self-sacrifice, intrigue, courage, and justice. So we know that we've had a spiritual things that we've been working on together with Penny, and this is, I'm seeing it as a breakthrough. You actually just got Odin on here, which I'm going to read Odin to you because probably you guys may get this a couple of times tonight. So Odin is the blank rune, as I said, okay? Blank in the beginning. This is the rune of total trust and should be taken as exciting evidence of your most immediate contact with your own true destiny, which time and again rises like the phoenix from the ashes of what we call fate. The appearance of the rune can portend a death. And when I say death, I don't mean death. I mean, it's a spiritual death. We all go through spiritual deaths because this is how we live and this is how we grow. The appearance of the rune can represent death, but the death is usually symbolic and may relate to any part of your life as you are living it now. Relinquishing control is the ultimate challenge for the spiritual warrior. Remember, sit back and don't try to force things to happen. Welcome, Chris. Great to see you, sweetness. Don't try forcing things to happen. Just be that observer. As I said, watch. It's really good to take some time, learn yourself, and to watch and to see. Try not to overthink. And I think that's the hardest thing that we all do is we try to overthink everything. When you get a thought in your head, and I do this, I'll just get one word sometimes and I'll go write that word down. And instead of me delving into it, and then I wait. and see if I get more information on it throughout the day. And then I'll kind of delve deeper into it. So anyway, so I'm seeing this is an opening here, which you had an opening, you had a spiritual issue. Now we have the spiritual issue at a standstill here, okay? But even though you've closed yourself down for a bit, Penny, what's going to happen is that you're still kind of opening up. You have your ascended masters, you have angels, and you have all these lovely beings still working with you in dream state. And this is where your breakthrough is coming to be. This is going to bring you through, and you're going to come out as the warrior. And again, as Odin is saying, here the unknowable informs you that is in the motion of your life is the blankest and held diluted potential. At the same time, both pregnant and empty, the blank rune comprehends the totality of being, all that is actualized. So, drawing the blank rune means they bring to the surface our deepest fears. Will I fail? Will I be abandoned? Will I be taken away? And yet our highest good, our truest possibilities, and our fertile dreams are held within the blankness of it. So again, watch your thoughts, keep your thoughts pure, and so forth. Okay, who is next? Say me. Did I just throw those in there? I did. Those don't go in there. Crazy chick. Crazy chick. All right, let's do Adam. Let's start from the bottom. Adam, put a thought or a question or something. Let me know when you're ready to shoot. 1, 2, 3, shoot. All right, you're welcome, Penny. All right, here we go, Adam. All right, so this one represents growth. I remember that because it looks like boobies. They're growing. Yes. Then we have the harvest over here as well. This one, which means wealth, and it's upside down, Adam. Okay, sorry. Wealth, fulfillment, power, maternal gain, and greed. But this one is reversed, which means disappointments, loss, money problems, or arguments. I feel arguments. I don't feel so much money loss off of this. I feel maybe we're actually going in these 5 planets that are aligned right now. The Schumann resonance, which is the vibration of the earth, and the energies coming to the earth right now, is off the charts. So which brings emotional baggage to the surface until we actually integrate these new frequencies into our bodies, and this can cause arguments and so forth. So I'm seeing some arguments here, but again, arguments aren't bad. This is how we clear the air. This is how we express ourselves and say what we like and what we don't like, and we learn and hopefully move on from that, because here I see growth. I see you moving on from that, Adam. This one represents flow, and it's funny because it's pointing up. This means emotions, psychic abilities, feminine dreams, intuition. Okay, so this is showing me, okay, we have the harvest here. You have some argumentation kind of going on here, maybe a little instability emotional wise, but from this I see growth. Okay, and then from here I actually see it emotional. Your psychic ability is growing. You see that? Your psychic ability is growing. So that's what I'm taking from that. And we're going to do another one. And we got this one. This actually represents joy. So that's a good one to get. I just gotta find it on the page 115. 115, please. That'd be great. Okay. So 115. Okay, so we have the fruit-bearing branch. Okay, the term of travail is ended, and you have come to yourself in some regard. The shift that was due has occurred. Now you can freely receive Wanjo's blessing. This is Wanjo here. Whether they be maternal gain in your emotional life or in heightened sense of your own well-being, this is an alchemaic moment in which understanding is transmuted from knowledge. The knowledge itself was necessary but not sufficient condition. Now you can rejoice having been carried across the gap, the will of heaven. As I said, it represents joy. I remember that it represents joy. I like to go camping, and this looks like a tent to me, and that makes me happy. So that's how I remember that rune. Yes. So that's kind of crazy. So what does this rune mean for you there, Adam? Hey, as soon as I turn the page, entirely you, let's see here. Restoration, self-property aligned with the self. There's a new clarity which may call for you to renounce existing plans, ambitions, and goals. It is proper and timely for you to do so, for Wanjo is a rune of restoration and self-property aligned with thyself. So, good things going on there. Okay, let's do Vincent next. Vincent. I don't use the runes very much, guys, so forgive me if I have to look in the book. I just like to get the more extensive. I know what each one basically represents. Like this one, this is birth and rebirth. And this one I remember because it's like I'm coming from heaven, I'm going back down to earth. Okay, that's how I remember that one as being rebirth. M, of course, is movement, and that's how I remember this one. This one's just a line, which is stand still. It's not moving. It's not doing a damn thing. This is joy here to me. No, that one's not joy. The other one was joy. But anyway, so you get the deal. Okay, here we go. Vincent. Vincent. Internal argument with myself. Okay, Vincent, here we go. All right, so I'm gonna move this out of the way. Again, that harvest keeps popping up there. So let's see what we have here. We have destiny. This represents destiny. And again, this is the one that doesn't matter which way it falls. It's the same either or. So there's no reverse to read on that one. Mystery, secret, sexuality, and initiation. That's what that means. Okay. This one over here, again, wealth, fulfillment, and it's upside down. Adam's was upside down too. So you guys are sharing this one. I don't know if there's going to be a lack of funds coming in. Maybe it's a change of jobs, and that in the beginning you may have to go back a little bit on the money income that you're bringing in, and then over time it will go back up. So, all right, night, Julies. I love you. Thank you for hanging. So anyway, so that one's that one. So and then we have movement, and again, it's sideways. So I'm kind of seeing this is almost as like a resting period. But I do see the harvest going on up here. And as I said, this is destiny, mystery, secrets, and this one is wealth, fulfillment, power, material, but it's again, it's upside down. So we're going to read it as disappointments, loss, money problems, or arguments. But again, you're married to Adam and he got arguments, and he'd probably be the one that you're arguing with. So there you go. So, and then we're going to do a rune draw up here. And ooh, this is partnership. So that's a good one there. This actually stands for partnership. And I'll read you what that one means. That's called Gebo. The name of that is Gebo. G-E-B-O, Gebo. Okay. So drawing the rune is an indication that the partnership in some form is at hand. So this has to do with love relationships, business matters, or partnering of any kind. You are put on notice not to collapse yourself into that union. The true partnership is achieved only by separate and whole beings who retain their separateness even as they unite with others. We must know that we're whole before we find somebody else. It's again, that self-worth, knowing who you are. At the same time, there's another aspect of partnership that you are being called to consider, for the path of partnership can can lead you to realization of still greater union, union with the higher self, union with the divine. The ultimate gift of this rune is the realization of divine in all things. God always enters into equal partnerships. Now, see, I'm not getting Adam off of this partnership. I'm getting this is they're telling you to get more in touch with your spiritual side is what I'm getting off of this, Vincent. So anyway, again, arguments, possibly a loss of income, like maybe you're stepping back from a job and trying a new job, and there may be that little adjustment period. And in the movement, this is movement to me, and this is kind of stagnation. This is kind of sitting by itself. So long journey, sudden change, timing. So that's what that means, sudden change in timing. So Trey, let's give you a go, my friend. Put your thought or your question into the runes, please. Let me know. You're not going to be poor. You'll always have us, Adam. Just kidding. You're not going to be poor. Don't be silly. Don't be a silly goose. Okay, here we go, Trey. All right. So this stands for journey up here, okay? And it's facing me. I know it's backwards to you, but it's facing me. So it's kind of showing me you're on a journey right now. This is standstill again. This is either way. I'm going to read more into that in a second. This one's potential, freedom, conclusion, consequences, okay? And the right way to read this is actually this way, and it's kind of on its side. But again, this is one of those runes that there's no right or really wrong to it. So we're going to go ahead and just take that. It can have reverse meaning marking endings, beginnings, and milestones. But I really feel that this means freedom for you. You got freedom going on. This represents, like I said, it's like reincarnation. It's almost like you're going through a spiritual death and you're discovering who your true, authentic self is. You're going to find people are going to come and go out of your life as you come more into your true, authentic self because we find the ones that are of the same frequency as us. The ones that we don't jive with will kind of come and go and depart. So anyway, so that's quite interesting. I wanted to read a little bit more on that one for some reason. Just curious. Curious. Now it's funny because that one doesn't. Okay, so as I said, rebirth, death, rebirth here, persevere, quest, conflict, and success. And it's funny because they're all kind of all reading in the present right now. So let's look at one that's going to read to your future here. And what do we got? All right, we have an opening here, so that's actually good. That's actually a good one for you there, honey. That's energy, positivity, lust, rapport, knowledge. It is, I'll tell you exactly what it is. Hang on. 118. All right, so this stands for fire and touch opening. This is the rune of opening and renewal of clarity, of dispelling the darkness that has been shrouding some part of your life. You are free now, and it's funny because it came out with the one that means free and journey over here. So you are free now both to receive gifts, to know joy and non-attachment of giving. Kano is the rune for the morning of activities for seriousness, clear intent, and concentration, all of which are essential in the beginning of any endeavor. One of the 13 cycle runes, the protection of offered by Kano is the more light you have, the better you can see what is trivial and outmoded in your own conditioning. So that's what that one means. So I'm kind of seeing this as a spiritual get to know yourself kind of thing, Trey. To get to know your true authentic self. You're kind of going through like a spiritual death right here, but I'm seeing that there's stuff opening and it's all kind of playing. There's nothing in the past going on here. This is all what's being concentrated on. And this is kind of telling me that you've done some work on bringing things up from your past to deal with, that it's showing me that that kind of work has been done, and now you're getting to know your true authentic self. And don't be too disappointed when people come and go out of your lives, because it's just one thing I ask, Trey, is open yourself up to receive. Tell the universe you are ready to receive your true authentic self and to receive your gifts that you are ready for. Okay, so you don't miss any opportunities there. So who is next? Let's do Jasmine. My mama, my modest Jasmine. No, Adam, you're not going to be poor. Silly ghost. Jasmine. All right. So again, we have, this one is self, and I know that you're doing a lot of self work, Jasmine. So that's kind of interesting there. See here, the self modesty, thought, altruism and creativity, but it's reverse. So it means selfish, uninvolved, victim, egotism, and alone. And I'm getting a feeling of you're feeling kind of lonely off of that one. I'm not taking it as you being selfish, because I don't see that and I don't feel that off of you. Uninvolved. There's times when we just are like that helium balloon, just kind of floating and touching down when we need to in our lives just to get through the day. But I see this more as a resting period for you. You're coming out of being sick. You're coming out of trying to get your energy back, and that's what I'm seeing is this is just you working on your healing yourself, which these Reiki classes are really going to help and really kick in for you, and that's really going to make a difference on that one. And then of course we have the standstill up here again. Right now I know that you have a decision and you're kind of worried about some stuff, and that's what that standstill is right here, is that you're locked in your mind, and I got to get you out of your head, girlfriend, and I get you more grounded and centered, and go inside your heart chakra. That's where the answers are. Get out of your head is what I'm feeling off of that one. Okay. um and and again, this is death, birth, and birth, death, and rebirth is what this comes off of this one, and this is directly kind of like right in the middle here. This is all your shadow self work that you've been doing. It's showing me that you're actually growing there, because with this one we have protection, because you're working on more psychic protection, which I know that you've been doing. Thumbs up there. Counsel, non-action, luck, and warning. So you have a habit of looking for omens in certain things in your life, and I do it, and it's not me being superstitious, it's just I know how to read things. And you're learning this. This is your gift. These are your traits that you're actually learning, and we're pulling out the partnership, and I figured that would be the one. This is what your question is about tonight, Jasmine. Tell me if I'm wrong, is the partnership thing. So anyway, but this is telling you, work on knowing your true authentic self, and know what you deserve, and know what don't sell yourself short. You know what I'm saying? And this one's saying that the partnership, we'll talk about that later some more, okay? Because I don't want to get too personal, sweetness. Okie dokie. Okay. Oh my God, Trey. I'm so sorry. Oh, my poor friends. I'm gonna send you some healing energy and stuff. Okay, let's do Chris. Chris. Put a thought or anything, a question into the dice here. You're most welcome, Jasmine. Much love, sweetheart. And again, remember the blank rune, which is Odin, it tells you that the future is fluid, okay? It's ever changing, okay? Like, for instance, I can be told I'm going to live a long, prosperous life, but if I choose to walk out in front of a car tomorrow and end my life, there it goes. All right? So we are in charge of our death. I'm not saying to go kill yourself, by all means, but you see what I'm saying with this, that the future is fluid. It's not carved in stone, and you can be in charge of your own destinies, is my point. Okay, come on, Chris, here we go. All right, so again, we have protection going on over here. We have the freedom, conclusion, consequence, potential. This also stands for hero, being a hero. This also represents partnership. I kind of get your dad off of this one here, Chris. I'm getting your dad's feeling off of this one. And this is the warrior, the self-sacrifices, the things that we do for our family, and so forth and so on going on there. And again, it's all kind of taking place in the presence. I know you worry about your dad's health here. And I know that freedom, conclusion, this is you worry about what the future is going to hold, as we all do. This is why we're sitting here in this class right now. And this one's telling you kind of protecting yourself, you protect your family, and this is you being the warrior, being that strong being that you need to be on those days when you're sad and maybe depressed. It's telling you, rise up above that, be like the phoenix, rise from the fire, and be strong with that. All right, so we have, there it is again. It's being duplicated, okay? I'm going to read the long, lengthy one for that one. It's not long, but you know what I'm saying. All right, so I just got to find out what page it's on. What page is it on? Doo-doo-doo. Where does it say these on the front of the book? Okay. So, why can't I find it? So, that is the warrior. Warrior. Why am I having a problem finding this? Oh, here we are. Okay. 120. Okay. And we have. Okay, so you've gotten this twice, Chris. All right. Spiritual warrior, always the battle of the spiritual warrior is to know thyself. Funding through action, yet unattended to outcomes, remaining mindful that all you can really do is stay out of your own way and let the will of heaven flow through you. They're among hallmarks of spiritual warriors. So this was trying to tell you, get out of your head, release your fears and everything back to source, back to God, back to the universe. And this will help with, sadness and things that kind of try to take over your life during the day. Most important, keep your thoughts pure, okay? Anybody else that I've missed here? We got Penny, Julie, Jasmine, we got Trey. I know I have Sarah and Shane, but I know they want to take off to the cemetery, so they're kind of waiting on me. So, Sarah, Shane, did you want to give it a go? Hello, Sara. I'm just going to do a quick read on you guys. You're most welcome, Chris. I'm not going to do a long read, so let's do a quick roll on Sarah. So let's see what Sarah has. Come on, Sarah. All right. So again, we have potential for freedom here. We have conclusion, consequence, okay, and then we have growth here. Again, I'm seeing this having to do with your business. I'm seeing growth here. This one means limit, upheavals, risk, delays. This is telling you, I'm feeling, because it's more going towards the future, this is telling you to take risks, is what this is doing. From the growth will be risks. You have to take those risks to have more growth, okay? And this one is freedom, conclusion, and consequence. So by doing these actions, you're going to have growth, but you're going to have to take a few risks. This is kind of like the unknown here, okay? And Shanunu, put your thoughts into the dices. Last one. Here we go, guys. If I missed anybody else, just let me know now, okay? All right. So, Shane, we have the warrior here, which is your end result, okay? Up here, we have this one, which means home property, but it's upside down right now, which means reckless frustration, legal problems, and hassle. And you're kind of going through that a little bit right now, so that kind of makes sense to me. But again, it's kind of up in the presence This one over here, which means strength, but I'm going to read it in reverse, which means weak will, low energy, illness, missed opportunities. I don't feel it's missed opportunities. I don't feel it's illness. I just feel this is it's you taking your power back and coming into your own to become the warrior, which is what you're becoming, which is in the future, which you are now, but in an essence, it's showing you the total outcome from that. So anyway, and of course, home and property, and we're in the process of trying to consider moving and so forth and so on. So that totally makes sense if that's in there. Hi, it's me again. Here I am. So again, this was just something I wanted to try out with you guys. I just thought it'd be a little fun because, you know, the runes were created or found by Odin under Yggdrasil, the tree of life. So again, you know, next week's class, it will be on the Holy Fire Reiki. I will be going over the introduction, and I will be giving this Reiki is different than other Reiki classes because this Reiki, I don't have to have hands on you for the teacher myself to actually what's called ignition, put ignitions into you. The ignitions are done from source. I walk you through a meditation is how these ignitions can put into you. So I will be doing the first ignition in next week's class, and this will help you guys really out a lot because it helps heal illnesses in you when you take in this holy fire Reiki flame and you start to get it ignited in your soul. It's basically the release of the Kundalini is what we're doing in your chakra system, okay? Shakti and Shiva. It's the release of the Kundalini in your power centers, and it helps to heal you internally from the inside out. In fact, one of the meditations, I have to wait a month after I do it to you because it's called purification. You purify your spirit and your soul and your aura and your biofield, which is your magnetic field around your body. So anyway, I got a lot to share with you guys next week. And then after that is going to be the ferryman. Yes, Cryon. We're going to learn about Cryon and what his job is and how he does it. So anyway, I thank you all so much for being here with me tonight. I hope you had a great time. Like I said, you guys make me shine. I love spending time with each and every single one of you. Trey, thank you for being here. My modest Jasmine, my other modest Julie, which took off. Penny, thank you for being here. My other mod, which is Adam and his lovely husband Vincent, and Sara and Shane and Karen, in case you're here too. And anybody else who stumbled along my channel, please like and get my content out there, please. You know, like and subscribe. I would love for you to come be part of the family if you're not here already. So again, thank you all for being here tonight. And remember, guys, you keep shining that light. Don't let people snuff your light out. You keep shining that light. And happy Easter to you guys. Much love and light. Remember, shine, shine, shine.